Hey guys, what's happening? This is THRASH and a very warm welcome to all of you to the United Talk. Manchester United 5, Bournemouth 2. For the first time since 2012-2013 season, I'm actually very confident about this team not losing a game, not dropping points. I mean, you look at the starting lineup and it is exactly what we wanted, the same lineup as the last game and the last to last game in the Premier League. I mean, you know that there's quality in every part of that team in the first 11. And I mean, I gotta be honest with you. The way we started that game and the way Bournemouth started, it had a feeling of the Tottenham game because while Tottenham did defend against us and did try to park the buses against us, and they were hitting us with quality counter-attacks, with speed and quality counter-attacks. That's exactly what Bournemouth tried to do. I mean, in the first 20 minutes itself, while our passes in the final third were not coming off, and we were a little slow to come out of the blocks, we were a little slow. And that does not in any way mean that we were poor in the first 20 minutes. No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is in the final third, the passes were just not clicking in the beginning of the game. Bournemouth, they were trying to hit us on the counter attack. They did have Joshua King and Stanislas both running onto our defense in the first 15 minutes itself, and there was these scares that we had in the first 15 minutes as well. And I'm not saying they had a clear-cut opportunity, but these clubs are fighting relegation, they feed on to such opportunities of half a chance or goal in the counter attack or a fast break or something like that. So when that first goal was conceded by United, and I went back to the Jose Mourinho Tottenham game because it's the same two players making a mistake for United to concede. Harry Maguire should not be beaten by a nutmeg in that area of the pitch, especially not by someone like a Sterling or a Mahrez or even a Sadio Mane or a Mo Salah. It was someone from Bournemouth, and I'm not nothing away from Stanislas. He did what he had to do and he scored a goal. It was a good goal from Bournemouth's point of view. But Harry Maguire, I mean, you are the best centre back England has. You are the best centre back United have. You are a club captain. You are supposed to be an elite centre back, but he doesn't play. He's not playing like an elite centre back each and every game because he's lacking that pace. See, I'm not taking this opportunity to tear into Harry Maguire. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he shouldn't be a part of the team. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is Harry Maguire should not be beaten like that, especially twice in 4 games, in 4 Premier League games. First against Tottenham and now against Bournemouth. And then for David De Gea to not save, I mean, any goalkeeper in the world should save that because it's your near post. It's the post that you're supposed to be guarding when the ball comes in. And I've heard some arguments from some pundits saying that, oh, what is he supposed to do from 5-6 yards out when the shot is so fast and so pacey? Yeah, well, he's supposed to be the best goalkeeper in the world, so he's supposed to save that. So I don't agree with that argument at all. See, you can have your opinion, that's not a problem. My thing is, if you have to be the best goalkeeper in the world, if you have to play for the best, one of the best clubs in the world, not best playing teams, but best club in the world, and right now we are actually a best playing team as well. If you have to be a part of that team, you have to stop making these mistakes. I mean, once it's allowed, once it's fine. For such mistakes to happen by the same players twice in the span of 4 games is not okay. Again, David De Gea has my full backup. He should be the #1 goalkeeper next season as well. But for me, it's confidence. I don't think he's been playing with 100% confidence. I don't know what's wrong with Maguire. I mean, like I said, he has his strengths. I mean, he's good in the air. He has a good header. I mean, he's good. He's a good centre back. But we do need a good centre back to partner with Harry Maguire. But Harry Maguire should not let Stanislas pass, especially in that area of the pitch. David De Gea should not let that goal in. Same duo that conceded against Tottenham, same duo here. Both of them are at fault. United 1-0 down. And you know what? I was scared for 5 seconds. For 5 seconds, I thought, oh no, this is the game. This is the game where we drop points. The world has been saying about Manchester United in the past weeks that yes, finally they're playing well. Comparisons with the best team that has ever played, etc., etc. And that's too much according to me. And then that can catch up. I mean, you can't win each and every game, right? But we have to, at least till the end of the season, we have to win each and every game. But it's bound, I mean, I won't be surprised if United do drop points, maybe get a draw out of somewhere because it's difficult to keep winning. It's a habit, but it's difficult to maintain that habit. So I thought to myself, for 5 seconds, I thought, here we go again. But then I was calm, I was relaxed because I realized, look what we have in the front. We have Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, and to support them, We have one of the best number 10s in the world right now, Bruno Fernandes. Arguments about Kevin De Bruyne being there, agreed, but you know what? I don't care. I mean, you have a player who's been performing out of his skin since the time he's joined Man United about 3 months ago, and then you have Paul Pogba helping him out. So this is the team for the first time in 7 to 8 years that can actually go on and win games no matter what, no matter even if they concede in the first 10 minutes. So I was calm, I was confident, and I knew we were gonna score. I knew we were gonna win this match. I was so calm, and that's the thing about this team. This team gives you that calmness. This team tells you it's okay to concede, and it's. I was actually happy that we conceded the first goal because that's a situation that United has not been in since the time we started, apart from the Tottenham game, of course. I mean, we've been winning games against teams by scoring the first goal in the past 4 games, including the Norwich game in the FA Cup. So for us to go down a goal at home, it's good because then you see, okay, what are these players made up of? I mean, for the first time in weeks, we have conceded a goal. For the first time in weeks, there's a threat that we might not get the points. So how do the players respond to this? And they responded the way we expected them to respond. First goal from Mason Greenwood, left-footed shot. Again, you look at that Tottenham goal that we conceded and the Greenwood goal that he scored. Goalkeeper should have saved that. But again, I don't care. I don't care. Greenwood scored 1-1 to United. That's what we predicted. And then we get a penalty. And I see Rashford on the spot and I'm like, shit. I mean, I expected Bruno. Everybody expected Bruno to take that penalty. And I was like, I don't understand this move. I mean, it's not like we're winning 2-0 or 3-0 right now that you can give the penalty to Rashford because he's running low on confidence. It's a sensible move, but it's a sensible move to be done when we are actually winning 2-0 or 3-0 already, so that even if he misses, we still have that cushion. But I think that's the confidence that the team is playing with right now because Rashford did score and it was in the end the right decision because Rashford did score. It must have given him confidence that he was lacking. And just sometimes you do need a goal just like that, a scrappy goal, maybe a penalty, something like that to give you the confidence back, especially when you're coming back from a very difficult injury. It's a stress fracture in his back, so he will be a little scared. We saw that happening with Luke Shaw when he broke his leg. So it does happen. Players do take time sometimes to come back and start playing at the normal level again. But I mean, I was scared. It's a good penalty. We got 2-1, and from then on, I thought United in the first half were amazing, back to their very best. And then the third goal, Anthony Martial. And I just want to take a minute out here and point out 2 journalists who I actually follow very regularly, very continuously, Gab Marcotti and Julien Laurent. Marcotti is Italian, Julien Laurent is French. They both work for ESPN. And they both are very senior journalists, very respected journalists because I value their opinion. But I saw a show, Gab and Jules podcast, about 3 or 4 days back. They were discussing Man United current team. And they said, first of all, they said they had doubts about Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka going forward if United wants to be a title contender. And I didn't understand that. I mean, if you look at Bissaka, he could have gotten an assist in this game against Bournemouth if not for Rashford offside. And that was a very harsh offside anyway. So he has been getting assists, Wan-Bissaka. He is one of the best defensive right backs in the world because it's very difficult to get past him. Attack, yes, he can do better, but he is improving. He's 21. First season at Man United, he's 21. He will improve. Give him some time. And then Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is playing some of the best football in his career so far. And don't forget, he had to deal with that double leg break. It's not easy to recover from that. And then you had to deal with someone like a Jose Mourinho who constantly is on your ass, actually telling that you are not good enough. So for a player, it's all about confidence. It's all about, able to get on the pitch, being able to get on the pitch and actually perform to the best level because you have that kind of a confidence. Luke Shaw has finally gotten that confidence. He's playing at a very good level. So I don't understand why. I mean, we do need depth in the right back because Diogo Dalot is not quality enough as a supporting role for Wan-Bissaka, but we do have Brendan Williams on the left. So I mean, see, Marcotti and Julien Laurent, they both have right to their opinion. I value them. That's fine. You can have your opinion as well. But I didn't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And then they talked about getting a world-class striker because they said United needs someone who can get 30 to 25 to 30 goals every season. Julien Laurent did say that Martial can do that, but McCarthy was not having it. And again, my question, and there are so many players who question Anthony Martial as a number 9. And why do you do that? Especially now, you look at the guy. That guy has developed physically along with Greenwood. Now see, Greenwood has developed physically in the past 3 months during lockdown. He's put up some muscle. That's exactly what Anthony Martial has done as well. If you look at Martial now and compare him to a Martial about a year ago, there's a difference in the physique. He looks like a proper number 9 now. You look at the fouls that he won yesterday. He won a foul at the edge of Bournemouth box. He won a foul at the edge of our own box. And he won a foul in the central circle. That means he's been holding up ball really well. The opposition are actually fouling him a lot more. He's been holding the ball up well. He's been linking up with both Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. And he's scoring goals. Both Rashford and Martial have scored 20 goals each this season. And Greenwood has scored 15. So that teenager is absolutely fantastic. No doubt about that. But if we talk about Rashford and Martial, I have no doubt in my mind that Martial can score 25 goals every season. And he did miss 30% of this season. So I don't know why people get on the backs of Luke Shaw and Anthony Martial. I don't know. I don't know why people start calling Marcus Rashford as Marcus Rashford because he's not scored a goal in 3 or 4 games. Are you forgetting what he's done for United when there was no Bruno Fernandes and no Paul Pogba? He single-handedly won us the game in the FA Cup against Chelsea by converting the penalty and by hitting that free kick. Why do people start jumping on players like that even if they are not performing to their 100% best? And even if the team is winning, it's not like we are losing every game or dropping points. No. So I don't understand why people are like that. As United fans especially, we need to get behind our team. Even the performances of Maguire and De Gea, which are questionable, you need to give them confidence as a fan base. Give them chances, opportunities, because right now we are playing well. We are playing with confidence. There's no point trashing these two players. Yeah, they might have 1 or 2 bad moments in the game, but they are not bad players. Is De Gea a bad player? No, he's not. Is Maguire a bad player? No, he's not. So get behind your players, guys. Get behind your players. Make sure you give them confidence. You're not in the stadium to do that. We are not, sadly. But at least these players, we know in this modern era of football, these players are on social media. They do read the posts. They do see the hashtags that are trending. I mean, if Marcus Rashford sees Marcus Rashford trending, what do you think it will do to his confidence? So let's not trash our own players, guys. That's the last thing we want. But talking about the game second half, again we came out. Victor Lindelof, kind of an injury worry, but Eric Bailly came on. And what a brain freeze. What a brain freeze by Eric Bailly to give away the penalty. Look, I don't think that was a penalty. Firstly, because it was a shoulder, not an arm. Second, because I thought it was not inside the box, it was on the edge of the box. But that's VAR for you, right? You might not agree with VAR, but that's VAR for you. So VAR decisions have gone for us in the season. And this is the match where the VAR decisions have gone against us. I'm okay with it. I'm fine. That's what happens, right? Every team has suffered because of VAR. Then you talk about the red card incident in the first half, and I'm forgetting the name of the player. I think it was Lerma. He should have gotten a red card. I think it was a high challenge just below Martial's knee. It was a dangerous tackle. Should have been a red card, but not given. I'm still okay with it. And then after that second goal, that penalty, again United, Mason Greenwood. Wow, what a strike. I mean, I didn't think he could score from there. But that's the thing you get with Greenwood. Greenwood is that one player that can play naturally across the front line. He can play from the left, play from the right, play from the center, because he is the most natural goal scorer we've had at United since years, including Martial and Rashford in this argument. And I say that, and I've said that in my previous video as well, because he is left-footed, he is right-footed. He can hit them sweetly with both them foots. So it's exciting. It's very exciting. But I'm gonna come out and talk about the Sancho versus Greenwood debate as well in a minute, because then the fourth goal came along. The fourth goal that we scored. I mean, was it Bruno scored the fifth goal, which was again a classic Bruno goal, and then the fourth goal was the Greenwood goal. Sorry. So and then we could have scored a sixth one as well, with Rashford being offside. So I mean, it was a game where you can actually pick your nominees for the goal of the year, with the Greenwood second goal, with the Martial goal, with the Bruno free kick. It was an amazing performance. And look, the Sancho versus Greenwood debate, and I don't understand why people are talking like that, because Mason Greenwood is 18. Yes, he is performing now. Yes, he is the future. Yes, he has the potential of being world class. But you know what? He's 18. The kid's 18. Don't go out and expect him to score a goal every match, because he's not going to do that. He is going to float in and out of the games because he's 18. He has a lot of learning to do. Look, he's raw. He has the potential, but you need to groom him. That's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done this year. He has groomed Greenwood properly. A lot of opportunities from the bench. I know bench does not give you too many opportunities to come on and score or impact the game, but it gives you some time, some experience. And then when you start the game and you start scoring, you feel more confident. Next year, even if you go ahead, if you don't buy Sancho and you buy someone at the right wing who's a cheaper alternative, you have Greenwood, Martial, Rashford as the front three. Martial is injury prone. And I don't want these three players to play 60 games a season, because if we want to be a successful team, we'll have to play close to 60 games a season. Do you think an 18-year-old and Martial Rashford can play 60 games a season? Nobody can. Harry Kane cannot. Sergio Aguero cannot. And these are one of the two best strikers in the world. Can they? No, they cannot. I mean, apart from Ronaldo and Messi, who actually do that, and maybe even Lewandowski, nobody else does that. Kevin De Bruyne had the entire season out last year, or last year, whatever it was. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen on the injury front. So you need to rest players. You need to rest players. So what if we get Sancho? We have Martial, Rashford, Sancho as the front three. As soon as somebody gets injured, as soon as you want to give rest to someone, the fourth man will be Greenwood. So Greenwood will not only learn from these three players and Bruno, Greenwood will also get his opportunities, enough opportunities for him to learn and grow, but not too many. Like Daniel James, this season Daniel James should not have played so many games that he did end up playing. He should not have, but he did, because we did not have any other option on the right wing, because Mason Greenwood was still very, very young. So I don't think there should be a debate about Sancho, and I very honestly feel, again, any team that needs to better itself, any team, okay, let me rephrase that. Any team that needs to challenge for the titles, any team that needs to perform or wants to perform consistently season after season, needs to improve in the transfer window. Look, why is Man City so successful suddenly? Because they do spend money, smart money on transfers. Forget about the UCL ban, Champions League ban, and the way they handle things. Forget about that debate for a second. Look at the squad. They have better squad than Liverpool. Liverpool have been very lucky with respect to injuries throughout the season. But they have a better squad than Liverpool, and that's why these two teams are successful. Either you remain injury free or you get enough squad depth. United cannot remain injury free because our medical department has proved in the past 7 years that we are not the best in those terms. So you do need to keep improving year on year to make sure you get to the top, and we are not at the top right now. We still need to close the gap between City and United, between United and Liverpool. We need to close that gap. Chelsea is going to do that. Chelsea has bought 2 players already. They're going to buy 2 more. United need to buy 2. Look, Sancho first priority, Grealish second priority, simply because of the fact that if Paul Pogba is injured again, a person, a world-class player, absolutely important, injury prone. If he gets another injury, I'm not saying McTominay or Fred can replace him, but they can do a job in that midfield. Look, it's a huge drop-off in quality, but I still trust McTominay, Matic and Fred to do a job there, because they had done the job there in January and February before Paul Pogba arrived. But I think Bruno Fernandes' position now, if Bruno gets injured, Pogba can play there. Do you think Solskjaer will play Pogba over there and not someone like a Lingard or even Pereira? I don't think so, because Pogba's best position right now seems to be in that central midfield, number 8 kind of a position. The same position he played for France in the World Cup winning team of France, and he was one of their main man, right? So for me, if Greenwood gets injured, it's a big problem for United, because that one man, see, it's not a one-man army. It's clearly not. The fact that we are discussing about a different man of the match and we are fighting over who should get the man of the match, who was the best performer, tells you that the entire 11 is performing well. But that one man has actually transformed the entire team since the time he's come on. Look at the stats. I'm not a stats guy. You won't hear me talking about stats each and every video. But stats don't lie either. The table doesn't lie. Look how we were playing without Bruno. Look how we have improved with Bruno, and then what Paul Pogba does. Paul Pogba might end up staying because of Bruno Fernandes. Why do you think that is? Because now the load of creativity, the load of being the star man for Manchester United, the load of taking United to the top again is not lying solely on Paul Pogba. It's being shared around. Bruno has taken that responsibility, that leadership. Pogba is starting to become a leader in that midfield. You look at both of them shouting, yelling at people. You look at these people are important in the midfield because they are both experienced, and players like Martial, Rashford, Greenwood still have a lot of learning to do. So these players are absolutely important. So if if Bruno gets injured, if he needs a rest, who comes on? You need a Jack Grealish. You need a Jack Grealish so that you can rotate. Look, rotation is important, and I'm not asking United to buy 6-7 players, am I? In order for us to win the title, we need 4 players. We need a right winger, an attacking midfielder, a defender, and a striker or a defensive midfielder, whatever it is. We need minimum 4 players. But to begin with, at least this transfer window, we need 2 players. There's no doubt about it, because we need that depth in the squad if you want to challenge for each and every trophy that we play for, whether it's Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup. And let's not forget the summer. I mean, we've had a 3-month break, but after this 3-month break, United will not get any break. Teams will not get any break. I mean, the teams who are not in Champions League or Europa League are going to get August off, but we are in Europa League, and by the looks of it, we want to win Europa League. It will all also depend upon whether we get Champions League through normal league or not. But if we have to play till the final of the Europa League, which is going to be in the second last of the last week of August, and then the Premier League restarts in September, you're not going to get a break. Players are then going to be playing from June 2020 till May 2021. That's 11 months. And after that, you have the Euros. And then the players who will play Euros will again get lesser break, again come to the season next year. And then next year, 2022 is the Qatar World Cup. So you look at the next 3 or 4 years, you need to have a squad which can rotate. You need to have a squad which can give each other a rest, while also there's no solid drop off in quality. So I think it's very important to not have that debate between Greenwood and Sancho, whether we need Sancho or not. You cannot put too much pressure on Greenwood. It's not the time for this kid. He's a wonderful kid, reminds me of Robin van Persie. There's no secret in that, and he can be the best striker. He can break the goals record, but he's still only 18. You need to groom him, develop him, make him play enough number of games so that he develops, but not too many so that he gets injured pretty quickly. That's what I think about the game and about the Sancho versus Greenwood situation. Let me know, what do you think about the game? Who should be your man of the match? For me, man of the match, wow. You know what? Martial scored a volley, right? He scored probably the goal of his career so far. But I want to give it to Greenwood. Because, and look, it could have been Fernandes, it could have been Martial, and you cannot disagree with those choices. But for me, it's Greenwood, because for an 18-year-old to come in, I mean, the first goal when we were 1-0 down was scored by Greenwood. Then again, when we were 3-2 down in the second half, the goal scored was by Greenwood. So the timing of those 2 goals and the second goal, the confidence with which this kid is playing, I mean, makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like, this kid has performed so well that we are now discussing whether it should be Sancho versus Greenwood. And that's a big compliment to the kid. So for me, it's Mason Greenwood. But like I said, I won't be surprised if you pick someone else. But that's the best thing about United right now. Multiple man of the match options, choices, and that's the best thing. So let me know, what do you think about the man of the match choices that you have. If you have enjoyed the video, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Do like the video if you like the video. I've said that too many times now. So next up is Aston Villa. Again, very confident. Leicester play Arsenal at Arsenal's home at the Emirates. I'm hoping Leicester will drop points over there. And Arsenal are playing well now. And the Banter Club is playing well. So, I mean, if Arsenal continue to play well, even if it's a draw, we are level on points with... Are we level on points with them? No. Then we are 1 point behind Leicester if it's a draw. But if Leicester lose that game, We are level on points with Leicester, and they will only be ahead of us with goal difference. So I think Leicester need to drop points in that game. United should be winning against Aston Villa. I'm very positive for the first time in 7-8 years. I'm so positive about the team. Let's see what happens, and I'll see you later.